Let me explain something to you. Most of you maybe received an education when you hit about the age of 7. And then some of you proceeded to go to college. I had an education from the day I was born, homeschooling and public schooling, all throughout my life. Surrounded by some of the largest people that you will hear of, and then others you will never hear their name. Not ever. So my name is Keith Evans, and with that being said and leaving it there, to my roundtable of religious leaders and people that I have known for all my life, and then some new ones, please be patient with me and put everything on the shelves with me. Just be supportive and cautious. To my other roundtable of people, we are at that place where there's some big stuff going on. It needs to be addressed. Meanwhile, all these other people, it's a mess. This past 8 years, maybe longer, has been a nightmare. But the things that I have seen here recently is hideous. It is out of control. And I know why Trump is president. And it needs to be resolved. The conservatives have the House. The structural societal integrity has fallen. Professionals are out of control. Some small militaries are out of control. We have a lot of nosy people that are being crazy and tearing up things they shouldn't be tearing up. Foreigner doing things he shouldn't be doing. So we have a huge mess. It was never supposed to be like this, but it is like this. And that's the testament. So you have a lot of work to cram in within 3 years. Look, someone has dictated to you. I'm going to wake all of you up. They have perverted democracy. They have perverted conservatism. This is the United States of America, the EU, Russia, all these other first world countries, but let's focus on the United States of America. I am an internationalist, but I am a nationalist first. And in the United States of America, we are a melting pot of people that we have, regardless of age, regardless of gender, regardless of sexual orientation, regardless of disability. Those things that we have established. We have generational families that have grown up in the United States of America. We are the melting pot of the world. We are supposed to be the shining beacon of freedom and prosperity and technology and advancements. And I love saying that because my other friends in other first world countries will be like, yeah, we'll show you. And that's okay. I love it. I just want you guys to be the same way. I want the United States of America and the Republic to be the same way. When I make that claim, you're like, yeah, we can do it. We're not a bunch of people that play church and do crazy, stupid things, and all of a sudden democracy has become democracy and conservatism has lost its focus. Because everything is a mess. Everyone's lost. So right now, democracy should be looking at places for which we need to go in order to become a better first world country. Conservatism is definitely here for a reason, because we have so many messes that you need to weed through all the messes, and it's not any of the things that some of these other people try to tell you. In fact, I guarantee you will not find a YouTube video, maybe a handful, that will actually hit it on the money. And some of the conservatives that are a little bit older, they'll know what it is. And I just want you to go and meditate about it a little bit, but I want you to look at all the problems. I looked at all the problems. I threw up. And where I'm at right now, the societal structure of our society has fallen apart. You know, that one where, for example, my family has education systems all around the world in many different things and all things. But where I'm at right now, that societal structure, the one where we educate people that want it, and then we send them. Some go to college, some don't and become something else, and everyone plays their parts as a community because each part matters. And this is the United States of America, the pursuit of happiness. I mean, we have some people, they choose to be Amish, and they live completely different than somebody in New York City. And this is what makes us great as a people, generational families. So they have perverted democracy, they have perverted conservatism, and I know what the problems are. I'm waiting for you to acknowledge what the problems are. I have some law that I have to go take care of. It's very important because it pertains to us, and I have a video down below. You sort of review it. It absolutely matters, and we can't have other people coming in and playing with it. It must be me, and there must be a good example, not a bad example. But I want you to look at all the things that I've looked at. I've had to jump on a small military. I watched them do some hideous things. I have family that big military bases here in the United States. Hey, and that's nothing to my international associates. Look, I love you guys. I understand all the things that's going on. I'm just an easygoing type of person. That's what I am. I love science, and I love exchanging, and I try to respect your customs. But right now I'm just focused on where the United States of America needs to go. But the conservatives, I want you to look at all the problems, the same ones that I looked at in the United States, for which almost threw up, and the same problem that my international community is looking at, and they're supporting me 100%. They're saying, yeah, we're concerned about this too, because... So, democracy is about making progressions, and it's definitely not age, sexual orientation, race, none of those things. And conservatism is about looking at our societal structure function and saying, well, we got a big mess right now. For example, in one city, the small military is out of control. The general populace is suffering. People are not happy. Professionals are out of control. Businesses are failing. We need to go in here and clean this up and conserve the good that we built in the past. Let go of all the bad. I'm not saying bring in the whole past. You know what I'm talking about. So someone else too said this was a time of the conservatives. The rich will hate the poor. No, you won't. The conservatives don't hate the poor because they're intelligent people, and they're right now going on in today's timeline, and they are smart enough as business people to know the rich can't afford to hate the poor. Because everything is so bad right now. Our societal structure is the topic, and that needs to be addressed. And we're going to care for one another in the right and appropriate ways and figure out solutions to make sure that that happens, since the professionals can't do it on their own. Bingo, I know. Like I said, I've had an education my entire life from the day I was born. You know, except for that time I suffered a coma and something hideous happened to me because I had a bunch of stupid people that came in and done all the wrong things. I'm back now. Mentally, I remember everything as far back as 1 year old. And I have all the keys. So I'm gonna bring you some real change. We're going to have some real change. Like I said, I have some people say, we want the magic. And I'm like, I'm going to give you something better than magic. We're going to have something real, because real absolutely matters. And cleaning up all the messes that has been made, that needs to be made. It needs to be done. And then I watched something like Sears go out of business because of some foreigner in the United States of America. And to my international associates, please support me. Don't be mean and come in and act all kinds of crazy because it's on YouTube. Just support me. But in the United States of America, something like Sears is a very prominent landmark in our society. I mean, we even have a big tower where people go there to visit and ride elevators and stuff, and they have fun and they get to see things. And when you have an established business in your nation, you don't want to let that go. You know, it's kind of nice to walk with your grandmother, and she has memories of shopping somewhere or eating somewhere. I mean, I just went to have a nice dinner with one of my friends, and I and her mother get along really well. And she took me to this place that her mom and her grandmother used to take her. She loves going there. So the memories and the culture of such things really is important to business and people's happiness. They're more productive. And I don't want to see, the United States of America is still a very young nation compared to other places, which I greatly enjoy, and I obey their customs, and I'm courteous, and I'm just there to be friendly and to get along with other people, and that's what I do. That's what I care about the most. But when it comes to the United States of America, we have some big problems, and that needs to be addressed. First of all, the conservatives are not going to hate the poor. We cannot afford to do that, nor is it wise to do that as leaders of this nation. What you're going to don't fall into the mindset of somebody telling you what to do and how to think. I'm telling you what the problem is, and you have some in your group, they do too. They know. That is why Trump is president. And they have to come in and look at all the messes and go and backtrack and pull in the reins and conserve what's important to our function as a people. And helping the poor is very beneficial to getting businesses rolling, making sure nothing falls apart, keeping our businesses intact. Somewhere along the line, conservatism and the Republicans, they've had their mind twisted by foreigners telling you. And then democracy it has to be completely different too, because we have already gone past race, color, sexual orientation, age, gender, disability. Remember, we already established that long ago. There's no need to make a complete repeat on it. In fact, we're not going to advance and catch up with the rest of the world if we keep playing the same damn circus and have them come over and pull us into it. So that's where we need to be going. And I have some law that needs to be addressed. Where I'm at, the societal structure, the function is completely failing. And it failed me. And because it failed me, it begun something that sort of affected everyone. And even without me, that's what it's doing to all these other people here. That's the saddest thing ever, because if this man would have done what he was told to do day one, my network of people are billionaires, big businesses, international relations, big stuff. They would have so much new technology and jobs coming in here, their head would spin. Their head would spin if he just would have done what I asked him to do, backed up by the biggest people in charge and in control and in truth. Because that needs to be addressed. Sometimes throughout the course of time, for example, imagine segregation. Let's say that was going on. And I go down to the human rights officer and I tell him, I don't believe in segregation no more. And I'm a white guy, but the big thing back then was, blacks were not allowed in stores, and he's a black man or it's a white man or whatever. And I make my claim. Well, in everybody's mind back then, it's like, oh, we can't do this. That's the law, blah, blah, blah. But we pushed it. Now, when I went down there to talk to him, he had zero excuses. None. But even if he tried to make some, I know what to go back on, and so does my international group of people and my national group of people, of which are CIA, military, educators, on that list goes. And he lied to me. And that's what these people do a lot. They try to push you down, and they do it to everyone until businesses run out because they see the structural integrity is not there. And my network doesn't want to bring new jobs in, because when you bring in new jobs and new technology, there's regulations, rules, safety nets. All those things absolutely matter. So for the Republicans that are used to shutting businesses down and someone telling you that the rich hates the poor, screw all that. You're in charge now. You're supposed to be business people coming in and going, we have to conserve this. We have to make some changes here. We have to get our societies functioning again. Because that's what good business people do. Which is why Trump is president.